Hello again, this is Mr. Miller. In this video we're going to go ahead and do our second read of this document that we've already done our first read or our sourcing of. So the first thing that we're going to do is see if at the bottom of the page if we can find any words given to us. So here we see that operative, burden, and render are defined. So we're going to go ahead and offer in those synonyms right into our text. So an operative is at the bottom, it says a person who operates a machine in a factory. So person who operates machinery. Next it says burden. So burden is hardship or difficulty. Hardship or difficulty. Little bell went off in my head because I know that the word hardship is actually in the HIQ, so I'm going to keep that in mind. And then at the bottom it says render, the act of providing something. So I look for find render, rendering, the act of providing something. Okay, so I've added the words that are given to me at the bottom already in. What I'm going to do for my second read is read the text, and as I go, I'm going to circle or underline any words that are unfamiliar or I do not know. Another great source of pleasure in the factories is that by becoming operatives, we are often enabled to assist older parents who have become too sick to provide for themselves, or perhaps to educate some orphan brother or sister and prepare them for future usefulness. And is there no pleasure in all this? No pleasure in relieving the distressed and removing their heavy burdens? And is there no pleasure in rendering ourselves by such acts worthy of the confidence and respect of those with whom we are associated? And last, though not least, is the pleasure of being associated with the institutions of religion and thereby providing ourselves of the library, Bible class, Sabbath school, and other means of religious instruction. Most of us, when at home, live in the country and therefore cannot enjoy these privileges to the same extent, and many of us not at all. And surely we ought to regard these as sources of pleasure. Okay, so coming back and looking at these words in their context, with whom we are associated. If I wasn't sure, I'd look up a definition, come up with that's people who you're connected or tied to. So connected to. Down here, privileges, ability, or opportunities. Extent, to the same extent, kind of degree. Okay. So overall, I'm getting the impression from this, from my second read, that the perspective is saying that with this HIQ, that the opportunities did outweigh the hardship. So I'm going to go ahead and write that right below here on the bottom. The opportunities did outweigh the hardships. All right, once I have my perspective below the piece here written, now I'm ready to go on to my third read. All right, so we need to do the vocab, and we need to find the point of view of this creator. The important thing to keep in mind with our second read is you're trying to get the perspective of the creator and of the piece. This is not the perspective of what you think as the historian. This is the perspective of what is this piece of evidence saying. Okay, that wraps it up for our second read. Next, you should watch the video on the third read.